Welcome. Today we will be reading Lesson 177 in the workbook, and from the text, Chapter 15, Section 11, Christmas as the End of Sacrifice, paragraphs 1 through 6. And now for Lesson 177. God is but love, and therefore so am I. (163) There is no death. The Son of God is free. God is but love, and therefore so am I. (164) Now are we one with Him who is our source. God is but love, and therefore so am I. What one's source created eternally cannot have an ending. And this is where one's true freedom lies. Being released from the idea that one's true self is but a body. For what has a beginning and ending is not true life, as nothing real can be threatened. God is but love, and love did not create death. Now are we one with that which is our source? For the eternal can only be experienced in the eternal now. For it is the only time that is. And in the silence that lies beyond the world, and in the peace that resides within one's heart, there is a purity that can never be defiled. For God is but love, and therefore one is only love. And now for our text reading for today, from Chapter 15, Section 11, Christmas as the End of Sacrifice, paragraphs 1 through 6. Fear not to recognize the whole idea of sacrifice as solely of your making, and seek not safety by attempting to protect yourself from where it is not. Your brothers and your father have become very fearful to you, and you would bargain with them for a few special relationships in which you think you see some scraps of safety. Do not try longer to keep apart your thoughts and the thought that has been given you. When they are brought together and perceived where they are, the choice between them is nothing more than a gentle awakening, and as simple as opening your eyes to daylight when you have no more need of sleep. The sign of Christmas is a star, a light in darkness. See it not outside yourself, but shining in the heaven within, and accept it as the sign the time of Christ has come. He comes demanding nothing. No sacrifice of any kind of any one is asked by him. In his presence, the whole idea of sacrifice loses all meaning. For he is host to God, and you need but invite him in who is there already by recognizing that his host is one, and no thought alien to his oneness can abide with him there. Love must be total to give him welcome, for the presence of holiness creates the holiness that surrounds it. No fear can touch the host who cradles God in the time of Christ. For the host is as holy as the perfect innocence which he protects, and whose power protects him. This Christmas, give the Holy Spirit everything that would hurt you. Let yourself be healed completely, that you may join with him in healing. And let us celebrate our release together by releasing everyone with us. Leave nothing behind, for release is total. And when you have accepted it with me, you will give it with me. All pain and sacrifice and littleness will disappear in our relationship, which is as innocent as our relationship with our Father, and as powerful. Pain will be brought to us and disappear in our presence. And without pain, there can be no sacrifice. And without sacrifice, their love must be. You who believe that sacrifice is love must learn that sacrifice is separation from love. For sacrifice brings guilt, as surely as love brings peace. Guilt is the condition of sacrifice, as peace is the condition for the awareness of your relationship with God. Through guilt, you exclude your Father and your brothers from yourself. Through peace, you invite them back, realizing that they are where your invitation bids them be. What you exclude from yourself seems fearful, for you endow it with fear and try to cast it out, though it is part of you. Who can perceive part of himself as loathsome and live within himself in peace? And who can try to resolve the conflict of heaven and hell in him by casting heaven out and giving it the attributes of hell, without experiencing himself as incomplete and lonely? As long as you perceive the body as your reality, so long will you perceive yourself as lonely and deprived, and so long will you also perceive yourself as a victim of sacrifice, justified in sacrificing others. For who could thrust heaven and its creator upside without a sense of sacrifice and loss? And who could suffer sacrifice and loss without attempting to restore himself? Yet how could you accomplish this yourself when the basis of your attempts is the belief in the reality of the deprivation? Deprivation breeds attack, being the belief that attack is justified. And as long as you would retain the deprivation, attack becomes salvation, and sacrifice becomes love. So is it that in all your seeking for love, you seek for sacrifice and find it. Yet you find not love. It is impossible to deny what love is and still recognize it. The meaning of love lies in what you have cast outside yourself, and it has no meaning apart from you. It is what you prefer to keep that has no meaning, while all that you would keep away holds all the meaning of the universe and holds the universe together in its meaning. Unless the universe were joined in you, it would be apart from God. And to be without Him is to be without meaning. We are asked here to give all our hurts and upsets to the Holy Spirit to be healed. And in celebrating one's release, does one free everyone else? For in this healing is all of one's suffering, loss, and weakness removed. And then any pain brought to oneself will fall away. Without pain, sacrifice and loss cannot exist. And so only love remains. Separation is not an aspect of love, for it serves only to block and remove oneself from love. Guilt is the root of separation, and guilt serves to separate oneself from others and from one's source. Guilt excludes others, while peace welcomes them back. And what we exclude, we fear, while what we include, we love.